this computer. Okay, perfect. So first I'll apologize. Not apologize because this is life and this is our businesses. I got two kids watching TV next to me, so I apologize if it's a little bit of a distraction and background noise. But
I got this going on,
yeah,
Robin.
and
So
their father is MIA. He was going to take them, but deep breaths. Anyway, I feel very passionate about talking about adding teammates to your team because in my previous direct sales business, um, it was not a strong suit of mine. And I just chalked it up to I'm not good at adding teammates, I'm not good at recruiting. And so in turn, I just continued to sell my butt off, which was if I wanted my paycheck to remain here, I had to do the same amount of sales month after month after month for 7.5 years. And it wasn't easy. That residual income, you guys, is so rewarding and so important. And with Zaya being such a new company, it's something you should absolutely embark upon and not let this opportunity pass you by. So I'm going to try to instill in you some belief in yourself that you can build a team and you should build a team because, again, the residual income is great, but there's also this other whole side, which Ali could speak on, of how awesome it is to add teammates and how it fuels you and it makes you a better person and it helps you to grow. I mean, and it's a cool thing to do. So I guess when I joined Zaya, my wheels shifted a little bit. And I thought, you know what? Um, I'm going to do this differently this time. I'm going to build this team. I know I can do it. Um, and so I think number one is you have to believe in what you're doing, you have to believe in the company. That may sound cliche, but it is so true. It's really hard, just like it's hard to sell a product that you don't believe in, it's really hard to sell joining the opportunity if you don't believe in what you're doing. And if you're pretty new, you may think, well, I my experience is so minimal and I haven't had like a ton of success yet. And how can I share that out if my, experience is minimal? Well, you see what others are doing, you watch others, you read their whys when we post what our whys are in Zaya, and you soak all that up. You go to Summit. You definitely plug into Summit. If you can go in person, fantastic. Um, but plug in virtually because you will feel the heart of this company. You'll hear stories of women and men whose lives have changed because of this experience. And all of that is going to fuel you and make you want to just like spill out the goodness of Zaya. Because it really is, you guys. I've done this for a long time. This company is the real deal. I just got back from Riviera Maya and holy cow, like the one word I will say is genuine. This company is very genuine. They are a no BS company. What they do because they believe they just like want to do for us as reps and they want to help us grow and succeed. Um, so you're definitely in the right place. And so, like I said, your mindset, your belief in what you're doing, Leo, your mindset and your belief is a lot of it. Because if you're just not there, it's really hard. Um, it's hard to promote the opportunity. Um, Allie and Jen are on with me live. Girls, do you have anything to add or say, or do you want me to just to keep going?
I know that Gracie and I both have other experience as a rep for other companies, and we just have really felt the community of Zaya and the resources have just been outstanding compared to our other businesses. So we really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, when I was at the Riviera Maya, I was looking around and there was probably 30 on our team there between the Connect and us. And I'm like, I could room with any one of these girls. Like I could stay in a hotel. I mean, I love this tribe. I love working with these people that we get to work with. And so, yeah, I would say the same thing. And that is a huge thing to promote. That this business model is so streamlined. It's so duplicatable. I always say, you know what? You have your own online boutique, which What woman doesn't want to own her own online boutique? Yet you don't have to house inventory, you don't have to ship things, you don't have to worry about all that hassle, but you get your own online shop. And that's how I promote it. Like when I tell people, one of the first things I talk about is that when you join Zaya, you basically own your own online boutique. You just have to figure out how to market it. And you have the free social media to use, which is excellent. And then on top of that, you have, as you guys know, people don't know that are on the outside, but once you're in, there's just so many people willing to share and post and talk about the sizing of this, and it's amazing. Um, so yeah, definitely those are kind of some catch key phrases that I use. And it's not just words, it's real. I mean, I did the direct sales with the catalogs changing every 3 months, a new special every month, the flyers that you had to order, the order forms, the crazy, crazy back office. This is so streamlined. Like there's not a lot to it. It's just a matter of what you put into it. 1 second. Hazel, can you go help Leo? Thank you. So yeah, 100%. That's one of the big things. So how do we ask? First of all, I'm going to start with if there is somebody you've been thinking of, if there's somebody that keeps spinning around in your head, like, oh my gosh, I would love to ask her, but I'm scared. I don't know what she'll say. Okay, you have to ask that one, because if you're thinking of her in that way, that she would be an awesome rep, that you would love her on your team, I guarantee you somebody else is thinking of her in the same way. I have seen it so many times. I can tell you so many stories where, oh my gosh, this girl I work out with at the gym, like she works out with me every day and she just joined under Sarah and I can't believe it. And I will say to that rep, did you ask her? Well, no. If you don't ask, she can't say yes. And she will get asked by somebody else. This just happened to me Monday after Riviera Maya. I waited too long to follow up with a girl who had inquired about the opportunity. So on Monday, I reached back out and I said, hey, because I was so excited after coming home. What are your thoughts? Like, do you want to join? And she said, I'm so sorry. I ended up joining under a friend of mine that was local. Seriously, you guys, it killed me. And I believe that everything happens for a reason. But so number one, get that main ask out of the way. Like, don't wait any longer. And then how do you do that? You just ask, like, hey, I am loving doing what I'm doing. I'm loving repping Zaya. You should do this with me. Have you thought about doing this with me? That is it. That is all I do. Oh gosh, somebody is waiting to get in. It says Hector Cornigio. Hi. Hello.
It's like she's still trying to connect.
Hi, Miss Carissa.
Hi, Carissa.
Hi, Carissa. We all have kids in the background, so you're in good company.
Yes.
Hi. What's her name?
That's Mia Bella.
Mia Bella. Oh, she's sweet. Hi. So we were just talking about like how to actually ask people to join us. And the way that I have had success and the way that I do it is just ask. I just simply say, hey, I'm having so much fun doing this. Have you thought about joining Zaya? And then leave it on their court. And usually, and Allie's heard me say this before, usually they'll say, oh, maybe, but I don't know that many people, or they'll come up with an obstacle. Well, I've thought about it, but I don't have the time, or I thought about it, but I'm not good at selling. Like, these are all the things that I have heard time and time again. And in my previous direct sales experience, you guys, I would seriously say, okay, well, thanks for getting back to me. And I would leave it at that. Oh, lost another one, lost another one. I've learned over the many years not to do that. Instead, you're going to help her through that obstacle. If she says, I'm too busy, I'll come back with, I totally get it. We're all super busy, right? But I'll say, did you know that it looks like I'm on Facebook all the time? It looks like I'm posting constantly when actually I use a third-party scheduling service called Post My Party. It's like a game changer. I can be at the pool.
This feels like
Allie
deja
is.
vu of a year ago, Robin.
What's that?
This was the conversation we had like 10 times before you convinced me,
This was Allie.
right? Like I didn't, yeah.
If you have somebody like Allie, where
Yeah.
you really
You need
feel-
it. You had to follow up like 10 times before I said yes. So
I remember all the conversations. We would use voice messenger, which I love, and I highly, highly recommend. But Allie is the perfect example of this. I don't per se hound everybody like I did Allie, but when you know that somebody would be really good at this, and you know that she just has it, you're going to be a little bit more aggressive with that ask. And I was with Allie, because when they're teetering and they're on the fence, I always say, if you're on the fence, you need to jump. If you're thinking about this, you need to jump, because the biggest thing is you're going to regret a year later when you see your girlfriend, flying high in Zaya. You're like, I should have at least tried. So yes, you're going to help her overcome those obstacles. For Allie, it was, I've never thought about it. Like when I asked her, she's like, I never thought about it. It was never something that crossed her mind. And then it was, I'm too busy, which she was. I mean, she was running a restaurant. She had a full-time job. She had 3 kids. And so we went back and forth. And in the end, you guys, she said no. She said it. I talked to my husband like, no. And I did one more voice message. And I was like, Allie, I can't stop thinking about you. And trust me, I'm not this aggressive with everybody. And she did it. And here she is leading this team. So don't let that obstacle of theirs go by the wayside. Instead, you're going to help her navigate through that and help her through that. And that's my biggest tip is voice messenger. Just ask, and please, please, please do not come out with the whole spiel. Once she says, sure, give me some information, then, and I can send it to you guys. I keep it in my notes section of my phone. It's just the potential rep information, what I send to potential reps. That's the stuff that she gets only when she says, okay, or she starts to ask about commissions, then I send her that. But we're not going to like come out with all that stuff from the beginning, because it's just too much. Okay, I'm going to stop and ask what questions you guys have.
Robin, I have a question.
Mhm.
What are the big things that you look for that make you like think you should start the conversation? Because I mean, I know you're not like asking every single person who joins a party, right? Maybe we should be, I don't know, but like that's a lot. So
Right.
clearly there's like things you're seeing in somebody where you're like, oh, I think this person might be interested or might be good at it. What are those things that you see in people?
Well, for starters, it's hostesses. If they want to host a party, they obviously love Zaya. So hostesses, we have to ask all of our hostesses. I look at it like they're going down the aisle with their cart, and they can choose to use their credit to buy 5 boxes of cereal, 2 boxes of oatmeal, and some granola bars, or they can use their credit to buy this bundle starter kit. So you have to give them that option. It's not clear unless you give that to her. The second type of person is the one that's in the party, that's a guest, and she's posting. She's showing you pictures of her in her Zaya. It's like, hey, have you considered repping Zaya? Boom, same question every time. And she might say, yes, I have a girlfriend that sells. I absolutely love the line. And then I'll say, you should join under her. Like, you should rep this line. You'd be really good. So obviously those are huge people. Anybody that's really interactive in the party, or somebody that places a large order, even a smaller order. You guys, sometimes our smaller orders, that was me. When I first came across Zaya, I wanted everything. And I swear to you, I looked through that website page after page after page after page, finally decided on a $49 long sleeve. Because I couldn't afford it all. And so it's a tough one, Allie, because you in a party and you're busy and it's your rep in this line, that person's going to slide by the wayside, but that might be your next rep. So it is important, and I'm getting better and better and better because I'm seeing the residual of it. It is important to follow up with every party guest and just have that conversation, just checking in, make sure you got your Zaya. How do you like it? You guys, if they come back and say, oh my gosh, I absolutely love these leggings, they're the best ones I've ever had. Okay, then I'm going to ask her to join my VIP page, or have you thought about having a party? If I feel like we've kind of connected through I mean, I might come out and ask, have you? They say you should actually ask to rep the line first, start with a big one, and then go to host. Which you guys said you have done direct sales before, so a lot of this may be kind of redundant to you. Um, but it's just all about building that relationship and just chatting her up and listening to what she has to say and not being afraid to ask. Just ask. All she can say is no. We're an awesome company, you guys. We're a prestigious activewear. We're at what everybody's selling. It's not like I'm trying to get you to drink a shake so you lose weight. I mean, it's not like, some of that's tough. Some of those things are tough, or take this pill and you'll feel 10 years younger. Like those are hard sells. This is really amazing what we have here. And I'm just a little bit partial when I say that. So does that help, Allie? Definitely those that are out in the party and they're involved and they're chatty and they're sharing for sure. And in your VIP group, same thing. People who are buying week after week, like you need to let them know about this opportunity, even if they just want to rep for the discount. You you need to let them know.
Robin, I have my list of people I want to reach out to have a party. I'm getting a lot of like, oh, my 3 friends have already had parties, or I'm really busy with school right now. So I'm having a hard time booking parties. Any suggestion?
So if they say right now, could you say, well, honestly, our winter line is like my favorite. Do you want to look at maybe doing something at the beginning of December? So try to schedule her out. Because I love the sweatshirts and I love that type of gear. At least they're getting back to you. I mean,
That's brilliant.
I've had that too, where I push it out a few months and say, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Do you want to just like, why don't I get back to you in a couple months and see if it's a better time or something like that? And then I just have them on my list.
And keep them on your list because have you guys heard me talk about group parties? A lot of people are scared to have the single parties, but if you're willing to do a group party, it's a lot less scary. And I feel like women are more likely to say yes because they're not going to be the center of attention, the spotlight. So those that are like, oh, I just don't know, can pitch that group party, because I have had so many people say, oh, well, I'll do that. I won't do that, but I'll do that. And it's a time saver. So
the group party was where Jen and Lindsay both came from. Same group party, the 2 of the 3 hostesses.
awesome. Yeah. So you guys have all seen those.
Yeah.
And you, Allie, you were
I attribute that to why I can't get any parties, because that like dried up my pipeline. They all did parties with Jen and Lindsay.
which is a good thing. Which is a good thing.
It is a very good thing. I'll take that.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. What other questions do you have? Carissa, do you have any questions or obstacles that you're coming across?
Yeah, so, well, I don't have questions, but my biggest obstacle is right now is, most of my support was my family from my launch party. So trying to book a party is kind of hard because the one person I was going to reach out to book a party was Gracie, who then decided to become a rep right away. So she was like my go-to person to be like, okay, I'll book her a party. And so I'm grateful that she became
Yes.
a rep right away. That's great. Now I'm like, who do I reach out to? Because I'm like, all I have is my family, and I feel like it's going to be like the same circle, and I want to reach outside that circle.
So that's where it will start. It will start with your family. And if you're lucky to have family support, I don't have a ton of that. Um, but you are going to start with that small circle. And I would use words such as, will you help me get my business running by running a party? Um,
That's good.
and
That's a
and
good-
then see, because from there, that's where it will spiral.
Yeah.
And think outside the box. If you have a friend that lives in Georgia, like, hey, I'm launching this new business. At the beginning, it's a favor for you, and it really is. And
Yeah.
you can word it that way because you're just starting. You have to spread your wings. And so, will you do me this favor by hosting this party? Offer her a pair of leggings for half price. If you've got some rewards to use, um, and then, whoa, now you have a whole new circle. And when you get that party, you treat it like gold, because those people, you don't know where that could take you. That could
Yeah.
take you to a whole nother level in this business if somebody joins and takes off. So I have learned, and you guys are hearing this too, but we're not only messaging and following up with the people that order in the party, you're also following up with the people that are just in the party because they joined for a reason. They're in there, they get a follow up too. And I've had a lot of good things come from that. That's kind of sidetracking right now, but that's what I would do, Carissa. Say, hey, this is what happened to me. I joined, and then she joined right away with me, and it kind of emptied my funnel. I'm really looking to spread and be open with. I think if we come out and we say, I don't really know what I want to do with this, and I maybe just do it for the discount, I'm going to dabble in it. Well, then people aren't going to come to support us in the way that if we said like, hey, I want this, I want to go for this. It's going to be it's a different tune. It's a different vibe you're going to get back from them.
That's good. Thank you for the confirmation, because I have a good friend that I was like, that's kind of how I wanted to tie her in, is just be like, hey, help me grow my business. You know, people outside, can you know, and her daughter's a dancer too. So I'm like, even that realm of, you know, them being dancers, they might be interested in a lot of the activewear clothing and stuff. So
Yeah, and
that's
plus she's going to get free and half price stuff in the end.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I would definitely it was really hard for me to kick this business off because it's a good and bad thing. It was so new here, nobody had a clue, and I got a lot of, I would never buy leggings that expensive, like what is this? And then at the same time, we did have reps join. So we had a lot of reps, but not a lot of awareness. And it took months, but I promise you, if you keep your head down and you stay focused on the party and following up, what are the 4 steps, Allie? Reach outs, party, follow up, and add teammates. If you keep doing those 4 things and stop, you guys, don't look to the left, don't look to the right, don't worry about what she's doing. She maybe has done direct sales for 10 years. She's not you. She might have 5 kids and 2 jobs. She's not you. You know, like, we don't have the same playing field, so we can't compare ourselves to others. All we can do is build relationships in our own business, put our head down and do the work. So, and I see it. I see it in the people that do just that. They are continuing to rise to the top. And then I see it because I work with a lot of people, and the ones that are always looking to the left and looking to the right, they're struggling. They're struggling. So, yeah. Anything else, you guys?
Robin, before everyone hopped on, we talked about I'm going back to school soon and I'm worried about time, and I'm loving this new Goal Diggers group, and they talk about the power hour. Can you tell me a little bit more about what I should be doing during that hour, you know, and that'll help
I don't
balance
know.
my work?
Yeah, somebody else asked me that same question today, and I'm in that accountability group, but I haven't had a minute to go in there and listen. I've heard somebody talk about the power hour before in Sam Higginson's call a few weeks ago. I think, and maybe I'm misspeaking, I think it can be anything. that you want it to be. It should be that thing that's you don't love doing. Like I think it's all really easy for us to hop on Facebook and post something, right? Like that's easy. For me, going live is really easy. Those are things that I actually love doing. But then I have those eat that frog things that I don't enjoy doing. I think your power hour needs to be those things, the things you put off time and time and time again. The follow ups, the reaching out, they're not fun. But I think a power hour is you put the Facebook away, you put the Instagram away, you set the timer, and you really hone in, and it's amazing what can get done. I think that's it, but I might be.
I agree with that, Robin. I think my sense of it is that it's like focus in on the high value things. Because
Yeah.
like you said, it's really easy to just get sucked into looking at stuff on Facebook or whatever and posting some pictures and like that's all good, but
Oh
that's
yeah,
not the thing
we're all
that's gonna
guilty
like
of it.
really move the needle. And so yeah, I mean, I do it all the time, like in between meetings, and you're like, ooh, that's a pretty picture of leggings, I'll post it, you know, and it's like,
Right.
that's great, but you're probably better off. Oh, he wants applesauce. You're probably better off down like you did today and making your list and
Yeah.
working your way through it. And like, that's a high value activity that we all avoid, you know?
Absolutely.
So I think it's less about like, here's what you have to do during the hour. And it's more about planning out and using your time effectively and efficiently. And especially when you're back to school, because now you have time to like make pretty things and you do lots of lovely posts, and you should keep doing that when you have time. But how do you spend the 1 hour a day? I think that's the point.
Yeah, it is
I'm
amazing. In this
terrible
type
at
of
it, by the
business,
way.
what you can do in an hour, it is amazing. Oh, I was going to add something to that. Oh, I was going to say for me, follow up and reaching out is not a 5 minute here, 5 minute there. Like I need my computer, I need to hone in, I need to pull up the Facebook party, and I need to have my order history there. Like for me, it is something where I need to take the time to do it. I don't have a clear cut schedule. I don't have great organizational skills, as Allie will share with you. But when I do that thing, I need that focus. And I'll just do that. I'll do my ton of following up on a Tuesday at 3 o'clock, and I'll just like bang it out. But I'm not good at like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Like I need to sit down and do those. So whatever works for you. But yeah, Jen, you're gonna need some power hours when you can find them. But you guys, I just encourage you to grab a hold of this incentive right now. This can be huge. I don't know if you caught Zach Bradley's call, the Zaya president, the other day, but he said, yes, I mean, obviously $750 a month, and then $750 for 3 months in a row is huge. And then obviously the $5,000 bonus, it all adds up to like $7,300. That is huge. Huge, right? I mean, for families. But on top of that, you will be at a whole nother level if you can do this. And you have to believe that you can do this. Like today, you can't let another day goes by. You have to like say, I am going to do this, and tell your sponsor and tell your husband and go for it. And because if you don't, another week's going to pass by, another week's going to pass by, boom, it's going to be September. But there's no reason you can't do this. I mean, ask her. There are people that think they are too short, too old, too tall, too overweight. You wouldn't want her on your team. That's what people think. I've had people tell me these things like, I never thought you would want me on your team. Like, so we have to ask and share this opportunity with people, because they're typically not going to come to us and say, hey, can I join your team? It doesn't typically work that way. So make your list and start reaching out, which I could really use a power hour, by the way.
Maybe we should do like a
Yeah.
booking blitz kind of thing some night, Robin. I always feel like those are really helpful.
Yeah, I could definitely use that. I'll think about that for next week.
Yeah, I just think it always is good because you're like on the Zoom like this and you're just like, oh, I'm doing it right now. Come on.
Right.
And I'm accountable.
Exactly. The accountability is huge.
This guy likes to eat a lot of food. Every time I go off mute, he's talking about a different food that he wants. Now it's a sausage.
My husband did come grab my kids, by the way. So I'm like, I didn't even look at him. I
Okay.
was like, take them, take them. All right, you guys, I won't keep you unless you have any other questions.
No, thank you so much for hopping on.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, I will say I've learned a lot in 7.5 years or more. I did a summit video 2 Septembers ago on recruiting. And so it's 18 minutes long. If you want, I'll send it to you guys and then you can share it with your teammates too. It's kind of like I took all the things, because I had a lot of learning to do, all the things I learned, and I try to put it all into that 18-minute clip. So that might be something you might want to listen in on too. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, you guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Robin.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.